You're listening to the Purdy Girl Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Kelly Purdy. My mission is to connect military spouses, fiancés, girlfriends, and booty calls worldwide. So let's do this. Hey, welcome to Purdy Girl Podcast. I just wanted to hop on here for a little quickie today. Podcasts are seriously helping me more than ever during this quarantine, so I am happy to provide this one for you, and I just hope it gives you some sort of value, whether it's tips about your money and finances, or maybe I make you chuckle a little, or maybe there's something I shared that's helped me during this crazy time that can help you too, whatever it is. I'm just glad you're here. Speaking of podcasts helping me through quarantine, I thought I would share with you some of my favorites right now. I like a medley of podcasts, right? So for money and finances, I love Dave Ramsey, especially right now. I mean, what a time for him and his show to really give some solid advice and overall hope to people in times of crisis. And maybe you don't see it as that, but I definitely do. Hope is what I'm talking about. Maybe you might see it as delusion. I don't know, but it's helpful, at least for me. I need a podcast with hope and solutions. I can't just sit in the worry and talk about statistics all day long. And that's what I like about it. No one is in denial that anything is going on. He's still taking calls, and like 95% of the calls are about job loss and financial crisis and what to do during these stressful times. So I like that. For the news, I have two. Okay, and you might judge me for this or not. I don't care. It's all good. But I like to listen to a left-leaning podcast like The Daily and a right-leaning podcast like Ben Shapiro. And when I say right-leaning podcast, he's very right-leaning podcast. So take what I like and I leave what I don't with him. But I listen to both almost every day right now. And here's the thing. It has to be after 1 p.m. and usually I'm on a walk so I can like process everything. I can't do the news first thing in the morning. It stresses me out. I need to be like fed. I need to be level-headed and just to like comprehend everything that's being thrown at me because it's a lot. I'm very cautious when listening to both of these podcasts, and here's why. It's an election year and everyone has an agenda. When it comes to politics, I don't take anything at face value. I see politics a lot like organized religion, where there are a bunch of just little sheep listening to whatever CNN spouts out or Fox News, never questioning motive or intention. It's a dangerous road to just consume, and never think for yourself. So I like to get the updates on what's going on in the world from both sides, and then I will usually talk it out or write about it. The world of politics honestly fascinates me so much, and I do like tapping into those podcasts to stay informed, but like with all things, I take what I like and I leave what I don't, always. Something I've noticed with the news around COVID-19 currently is a lot of speculation. A lot of guessing, a lot of like, and then if this happens, then this, and then if this is going to happen, and then this. And it's just a lot of talk of what could happen in the future, which I guess that helps some people. It does not help me. Once it starts going down that road, I just turn it off. Like, give me the facts, give me the updates, then I gotta go. Tell me what's getting done in Washington. Is there a plan? No? Okay, bye. I'll try back tomorrow. You know, the guessing game just causes anxiety and it's pointless. It's totally pointless. So for fluff podcasts, I like to listen to the Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast and the Bitch Bible. TSC has a lot of variety, which I like. the Skinny Confidential, TSC, the Bitch Bible is just hilarious to me. She's so inappropriate. She's so crass. She's just a good time gal. Definitely not for everyone. Just gonna throw that out there. And so for mindset and positivity podcasts, I like to listen to Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy. I like her solo podcast. I like some of her interviews. I would skip the Q&A podcast that she does with her assistant. Those are kind of just like annoying to me. I don't know. They might be cool to you. I just have learned to skip those. I also don't love the ones she does with her husband. Sorry, Lori, if you're listening. But her solo podcast and then some of her interviews, I definitely recommend. Rachel Hollis's Rise podcast is good, and Lewis Howes' School of Greatness podcast. Lewis actually interviewed Dave Ramsey, I think, on his latest podcast, and there's a lot of good information in there. I recommend listening to that one right after this one. They talk about getting through not only this crisis, but also talked about how Dave Ramsey, I mean, he's been through many crises. So old. No, I'm just kidding. But like Y2K, the 2008 recession, 9/11. I mean, hi, I was alive for all of those things too, but it didn't affect me the same way that it is now, right? I mean, I was so little back then. Now being a 31-year-old woman with rent and bills and a baby on the way, I mean, it's affecting me in a totally different way. But anyway, he just talks about how during each of those times, it seemed as if the world was going to end, similar to now. And well, surprise, it never did. It came with a lot of learning lessons, no doubt, but America pulled through and moved on, just like we'll move on from this. So yeah, those are my favorites currently. Let me know if you check them out. Yesterday on social, I asked you guys what you've been struggling with the most during this quarantine. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, you totes should. I'm Ashley Kelly Purdy. By the way, I made a TikTok the other night and then I totally deleted it because, well, B showed me all these articles on information being sold from TikTok and how it's used to hack people's accounts. Not interested in that right now. And I don't know. I'm sure there's similar articles about Instagram and Facebook too, doing that same thing. It just spooked me. But I do really want a TikTok. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it. Anywho, so I asked you, and I just wanted to talk about your answers. One person said that the hard thing about being in quarantine right now is letting go of what I can't control, mainly others not social distancing. I thought that was super interesting. Obviously, we all have different stressors, and I think it highly depends on our personalities and what we as individuals value. By the way, if you guys haven't taken the Enneagram test yet during quarantine, you totally should. It'll give you so much insight into just who you are and how you're behaving during quarantine. It's called the Enneagram test. One more time, you can take it online for free. Do not pay for it. It is free online. Have your husband do it too. Maybe your kids. I don't know. It's actually really helped me in my relationship with B. I understand him so much better and he understands me better. And there are also funny Instagram pages you can follow too that they'll be like, if you're a 7, you're probably doing this in quarantine. And it's usually spot on. So more answers that I got on my Instagram about what's hard about being in quarantine right now was lack of human touch, which that one like totally made me sad. I'm like, oh, I can't imagine. Like if I was like alone, whew, that'd be, I don't even know. That would be tough. And then more answers were like my mental health. Got a lot of those. Not hanging with friends, family, and neighbors. My anxiety. I'm snacking too much. there were a lot about snacking too much and not saving the quarantine snacks. Hi, that's me over here. I don't know. I'm going to try to get our grocery bill down this month, but it's not looking promising. Someone else said, leaving my family at home while I work and then afraid I will bring home cooties. That's real. Bennett still has to go into work and I just don't love it. I want to spray him down with a hose every time he comes home. Then someone else said, my emotions are all over the place, making and sticking to a routine, stress that I still have to work and be around people, not being able to travel, and time management. Just so many, you guys, so many. You might be asking, Ashley, why are you sharing all these with us? It's just depressing. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to share them with you in case you were feeling any of those same things. We just need to know we're not alone right now. We are not alone. These feelings are normal and they are valid. I think it's really important to be gentle with ourselves right now and to recognize there's just no doubt this is scary and stressful, but also that this is temporary. We will move on from this and things will reopen again. They just will. We can't keep going how things are going. We just can't. We will have meetups again. We will have happy hour again. We will be able to travel and see our family and friends. We just have to take it one day at a time. That's it. Sometimes we just have to take it one moment at a time. So what do I mean by that? Well, some days when I'm really overwhelmed with what's going on, I can just think, okay, well, what can I do right now that will help me feel better? Could I practice a song on the piano? Could I lay down and watch a show? Could I organize a closet or a drawer in my house just to help me see that I can control just one thing? Have you noticed people doing that lately? They just want to organize a drawer or get rid of a bunch of old clothes just to show that they can control one thing in their life right now. Could I go for a walk and call a friend? Could I take a tub? And it's just taking it one moment at a time sometimes when it's this intense. You're doing the best you can. Okay, some days are going to be better than others, and that's just how it goes sometimes. But remember to focus on being just 1% better than the day before. That's it, just 1%. You can do this. You've done hard things before. You're going to look back on this and just see how strong it made you. You really will. I promise. So I'm here for you. I'm proud of you. We've almost made it one more day, which is one day closer to this all being over. I'm sure of it. Just sending you guys lots of love. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Maybe by the next podcast on Monday, we'll have some more answers. Maybe by then we'll have an idea of when things can open up again. We can only hope. Just take care of yourselves today, okay, you guys? Love you so much, and I will see you on Monday. Thank you for listening to Purdy Girl Podcast. If you have a second, please rate and review and share this podcast with somebody you think would love it. See you next week.